Hi everyone, and welcome to Flight Sim 24. Today we are in Bora Bora, and we're going to be doing a cold and dark startup tutorial for this Lockheed JetStar. This aircraft is currently on sale right now on the marketplace for $15. Nice classic business jet. It was on my wish list for quite some time, and for whatever reason, I just never picked it up. So I was like, you know what? I need to grab this aircraft, okay? Because there is nothing like it. So while everyone is out there doing, content for the Sovereign and the Falcon 50, I'm going to go ahead and come in with this, something a little different, and if you're like me and you were looking at the marketplace and you saw this aircraft and you was wondering about it, and maybe not many people had content about this aircraft for some reason. So I didn't see anything new about it, and it's been updated extensively since it was released. So this is not a first look, though. We're just going to do the startup tutorial, okay? So climb aboard, and and you can see that the cabin is really nice. You can put all of these away for takeoff. But we're not going to do a flight today. This is strictly focusing on a startup tutorial, okay? And let's go up here. The first thing I do, now I've been through this several times. You can use the checklist, but it's quite extensive. So if you just want to kind of get in and get it going pretty quick, this might be what you're looking for, all right? So first of all, let's go ahead and switch this on 26 volt ESS, okay? And then inverter switch, I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'm going to put the number one inverter switch to transfer, okay? So that's the two things I'm going to do right there. And then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to put GPU on start, but you probably could just leave it right here. I've done it both ways. So let's just put a GPU start. There isn't an avionics switch. Basically, when you put this on, your battery's on, and I'm going to show you how, when you set this switch up here to number 115, or 26 volt, or whatever, it goes on. That will have your avionics powered up. Okay, so now that is all done, we're going to come here, and let's close the cabin door. You can see those warnings right there. Okay, so let's do that now. Start with this one. And let that one close first, and then when the stairs close, you just press this here and it will close your cabin door. Okay, all right, so now what you want to do first is turn on your fuel pumps for each engine. Now you kind of look at the gauge and look at the red line kind of going directly to the fuel pump, because it can get kind of confusing around here and stuff like that. So just right here, on, take two, on, and on, okay? So those are all on, all right? And throttles are in idle, set, okay? Parking brake is set. Parking brake right over here. Let me show you, right here. And it's on, okay? All right. Our generators are off. We're leaving them off for now, but we will turn them on once we get the engine started. So we're going to start with engine 4. Okay, so you put it there, and then this right here in this position, it says air start, or you can just do here. I haven't really messed around with that too much. I just been kind of leaving it on air start, okay? So right here, that is just start engine. You just press that. It's in number 4, so let's go down here, and you're going to see number 4 powering up. You see right here, RPMs, and then you're going to see the rest of it. And they all going to be like in a stabilized position when it's fully started. Okay, so we're going to look at that right now. It's going to stop at about 44 RPMs. Okay, and we wait for this here. I believe that's the oil pressure. Okay, and also this is your fuel quantity. Okay, all your fuel gauges right there. Very easy to see. Okay, so there you go. It stopped at about 45. Okay, so this engine is good to go. Okay, so now let's get on engine 3, because you got 4 engines on this aircraft. Okay, Start engine. Now we're gonna come down and watch this get up to stabilize. And anti-skid out, so we press this and that will go off. Okay, generate out. When we turn our generators on, this is going to go out as well. Okay, so these needles should match the ones on the right, and you can kind of hear that nice classic jet sounding engine spooling up, which you gotta like that sound. I love it. You know, reminds me of those 727s back in the 80s, things like that. All right, so engine 3 is started and stabilized. Okay, so now let's go to engine 2. Okay, right here, and just start engine, and we're gonna watch it spool up and stabilize. We're gonna do the same thing for engine 1. Now this aircraft is very different from any of the other ones I've flown. It took some practice to learn how to fly it and things like that. And I'm planning to do another video showing you how to work the autopilot and fly the aircraft, you know, and do a flight plan, things like that. Okay, so look, here we go. It's at stabilized, almost at right about 45. Okay, everything looks good here. Engine 2, good start. Okay, so now let's go to engine 1. Alright, so it takes a few minutes to get all 4 engines started, but when you do, you know, there's not a whole lot left to do. I mean, the aircraft at first, when you come in the cockpit, it may look a little intimidating, you know, because you know how these old school classic jets and planes can be with all the analog gauges. When you get used to looking at the glass cockpit, you know. Okay, so it's starting up now. We should see 45 on the RPMs pretty soon. Alright, so we have a good start on engine 1. So now I'm going to show you what we do here. Once you have a good start, okay, I come over here and I put this on the bottom one here. Instead of transfer, I put it all the way down on, okay? So right here we can just turn this off, okay? Battery on. Alright, now, this, I usually turn this on. I wanted to mention that. I usually put that on, but I guess it didn't matter too much. Sometimes you may have to put this on to start the engines. So let's go ahead now. We're going to get our generators on here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see that lights out. Now starter isn't still engaged, so we're going to have to put this on off, okay? And beacon light, you kind of want to turn that on when you're starting up, okay? But I didn't. All right, so there you go. So, you know, this here, you know, we're not shutting this off. You leave this, all this can be left on default setting when you come in the aircraft. All right, so, you know, there you have it. You have 4 engines started. Now, let me show you that. This is very important, okay? Once you get it started, you want to take this and turn the electrical bus selector right here to 115 volts, and this will get your Garmin up, okay? If you don't turn that on, you won't have your Garmin come alive. Now, this here, this Garmin, the 750, you have to download it from pms50.com, which a lot of you might be familiar with from Flight Sim 2020. But I do recommend this. If you don't, it will use the default one, which is fine too if you want to use the default one. Okay, so you can see right here, Bora Bora, you know, and it works pretty good. And I haven't noticed any really major issues with this in Flight Sim 24, so it's, you know, it seems like it works pretty well. Okay, and once it's all started up, you're going to kind of want to come down here and set this to align, okay, and then this right here, put this on auto, and then your transponder, turn that on. Okay, you want to make sure you get those 3 on. This is the autopilot section, and it's quite different. I'll have to show you how this all works, but that's going to be for a different video, okay? And over here, one last thing you want to do, you kind of want to turn this on, right? that was in a checklist. So it's just something you want to turn on, okay? And I'll show you this button here too. Nav and GPS button. If you wanted to follow the course, you're going to have to put that on GPS if you're on GPS, okay? Remember that, all right? And in order to get it to do that, you'll press the radio. But like I said, we're going to talk about that in another video. So, you know, this is it. This is fully started, this aircraft. And that is all there is to starting up the Lockheed JetStar. And this is a really cool aircraft. So I hope this all helps if you're deciding, you know, to purchase this aircraft or whatever. I'm going to have some more videos coming. And if you did buy it and you're looking for some tutorials, recent ones, you know, this might help. Okay? So that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.